In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how easy it is to catch barramundi on soft plastics. I'll go through the gear I use and the simple techniques that anyone can use to catch the iconic Aussie barra.
Oh, still got it. Yeah, got him. Oh, good fish. G'day, Bergie here. One of my favourites, just straight off the bat, is these 5-inch McArthy paddle tails. That is a 21 ounce jig head. I think it's about a 5/0 hook on there. That is absolutely deadly, and I'll show you how to use that one in a minute. Some of the other lures I use are slightly smaller McArthy as well in the paddle tails. And then of course we have the flat shad range. Now these things have been catching barra for longer than I can remember. You can see them there, the different ones. This big sucker here, the weedless one, just sometimes bigger the lure. You do sort them out a little bit, you might find a bigger fish. And it's just your, I think it's 4.5 inch. And then of course there's the flat shad X, which again is fairly new to the market, and it's just a hybrid of the flat shad with a Kevlar tail and a nice big paddle on the end there. And pretty much you're fishing all of these in the same way. And then it's a vibe, but it is a soft plastic. There's always the fish trap as well. So fish completely different to all those other ones, but absolutely deadly. Whether it's in impoundments or fishing this sort of water, really, really good on not flathead, Barramundi, flathead on the brain. They're healthy, beautiful spots all over his body. They're just such a great fish. All right, I'm going to show you how to use this soft plastic, this McArthy, and there really is nothing to it. If you're new to using soft plastics, you're a guy that only live baits, or if you're new to chasing barra and so forth, this really is one of the simplest ways of catching big barramundi. So nice big cast. We've sounded a few barra coming through the mouth of this river on the side scan. Nice big long cast. Now you must make sure that that plastic is on the bottom. Really, really important. So I'm watching my line, the line will go slack. I'll know it's hit the bottom. Pretty sure it's already there. And all I'm doing is rod tip down and just a slow wind, just a nice roll. So the body of this lure will roll and the tail will do its thing. Now, while I'm doing that, I'm just going to talk to you very quickly about your stance. I know it sounds a bit weird, but how you stand and strike these fish can make all the difference. So a lot of guys will stand square to their rod and they'll just be like this. So when you're standing square like this and you strike up on a fish, you've got nowhere to go. That's it, that's all you've got. And if you need more, you've got no more, and you've got to be wild like a crazy man. The way to do it is left foot slightly forward, right foot slightly back on the angle. So when you, oh, there's one. Oh, come on, eat it. So when you do strike the fish, you can come across your body and you've got so much more. Watch, so I can come all the way, keep twisting my body all the way back there, and then I can just wind up the slack. So striking across your body as opposed to straight up and down will set the hook far better, and you will not get that loose line. You won't run out of room to set that hook. So I'm just going to keep casting this lure for a little while and see if we can find a big girl for you. Don't be scared to use really, really big plastics, because you can imagine a metre-sized barra, its mouth's like that, massive, and they'll eat baits that big. Danny's on, yep. Oh, nice fish too, another barra. Again, he's doing the same thing. He's got, oh, he dropped it. He's got the flat shad X, which I showed you before. He's just casting it out and it's just slow roll back to the boat. He's never been barra fishing in his life. And how many have you caught?
Oh, too many to count.
Yeah, too many to count. So it's such a simple thing to do. Just cast and a slow, oh, there's one, come on, eat it properly. Oh. Some of the smaller ones will just grab your tail. It's the second time I've had a tail grab now. But just keep going. Don't speed up, don't slow down. Just keep that at an even pace, even after you get a bite. Same spot each time. Now, sometimes partway through your retrieve, Just check that plastic, always check it, make sure it's sitting nice and straight on that jig head, really important. Yep, looks good. This one's caught a few fish, so it's getting a little bit manky, but it's still working nicely. Now, if you don't think you're hitting the bottom, put on a much bigger jig head. It does not matter. It doesn't impact the fish in any way. You want that lure bumping the bottom as it's swimming along. But one thing you can do is when you're partway through your retrieve, so I'm winding her up, nice and easy. I'll stop for a second and pause. Now sometimes the fish will eat it on the pause, but I'll wait till it hits the bottom again. Because you can imagine my angle, I'm bringing it up off the bottom. So maybe 5 to 10 winds, depending on how far you're casting. Oh, there's one. Gotcha. Oh, big fish, and he threw my plastic. Now, I just did what I told you not to do. And when I struck that fish, because I wasn't really concentrating on it, I've gone straight up like this and I ran out of room. He's jumped, loose line, and he spat the plastic. So do as I say, not as I do. Come across your body. It is a little harder with another fisherman there. Danny's on again. See if you can hang on to yours, mate.
Yep.
There's some very big fish coming through here. Oh no, nice fish, goodness me.
Nice.
Come down this way. Good fish, mate, follow your fish, that's good. All right, now you watch Danny fighting this fish. When he first came to us, his fighting was interesting, but now he's got it. Just keeping pressure on the fish at all times. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, you'd be about a 75. So always keeping that rod bent, keeping the pressure on the fish at all times. And when in doubt, just wind. Nice and easy, there's nothing you can lose him on here. That's good. And you'll see here, do not lift the fish's head out of the water. Let the netman go down to it. And that's perfectly netted. Well done. Just swim him into the net just like that. Cracking fish. Just lift up that lure, mate. Show the folks at home how many fish you caught on that particular lure now. I don't know how many that hook got a little bit there. So let me ask you this before we quickly release that fish. What's the key learning for you so far in the last day or so?
Rod bent.
Rod bent at all times.
Always tension.
Yeah. So a big mistake people make is they will lift up and then they drop that rod tip and then start winding, and it just gives that little bit of loose line. Now if that barra jumps at the same time or whatever, that's when you lose.
It's gone.
Yeah, you're gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
And you learnt that lesson early and now you're keeping it tight. Let's give it a quick measure, mate, and have a look, eh?
Yep.
That's a cracker. I just missed another one. 80 on the nose. Oh, come on. So that's an 80 centimetre fish on the nose. Cracking fish, nice and heavy, great fighting fish, and just so simple to catch. Obviously you've got to be in the right place. Coming out with a master guide is always a handy thing. Definitely. But if you've got it down pat, you've got that rhythm going and you can do that nice slow retrieve and you know your lure's close to the bottom and you know how to fight them, you'll just catch them off. You don't want to come all the way up here and just look like a pleb and just lose one after another, eh?
Yeah,
like the boys on the other boat, they're not overly experienced, and yesterday they dropped 4 really big fish. So just learning these little things can make a big difference. All right, out of the water enough, mate. We'll send one.
Poof, gone.
So we've got some serious current coming through here now, so I'll put on a nice big jig head, and I've just gone to your standard flat shad. This guy's about a 7-incher, I think. And I mean, that's a big lure, right? But for these barra, it really isn't. And you'll get a lot of small ones just grabbing at the tail, but when a big one comes along, they'll absolutely snaffle the whole thing. And if I put him in the water there, you'll see the action. Now, any soft plastic that has this sort of action is going to catch your fish. I'll just bring you back around so you can see it. There you go, Gainsey's onto a big fish. You can see the roll and that paddle doing its thing, but the body roll is absolutely crucial. They love a good body roll. Look at that. Close to the bottom, nice steady retrieve. What do you got, mate?
Barra.
Some Surprise, surprise. Oh, another nice one. What'd you catch that on?
Yeah, McArthy.
McArthy?
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
It's like pearl shine or something.
Yeah, something like that. All fish love white lures, don't they? Oh, yep, there's one. Oh, hello, Christmas. Oh, this is on that flat shad. Big. Again, you can see I've struck that fish across my body. So now I've got all this room to work in and keeping that rod bent the whole time. Oh, some weight there. Oh. I can bring it down in front of me now. You want to keep it moving at all time. When he's running, there's no point you doing anything. But keeping that rod bent is crucial. Nothing I can do. Whenever you can get it. So you start winding before you drop the rod tip with key. So you don't have that slack line. Super important. Oh yeah, here we go, nice fish. It's not the meatery, but it's a cracker. Well, she played up, let me tell you. Where's the rest of it, Kurt? It went so hard before. Isn't it funny when you're mistaking 80s for 70s? You know you're on a good thing. You can see that flat shad there in the corner of his mouth. Very, very simple. I don't care what anyone says. Any person at any one time, no matter what the experience, can catch monster barramundi with virtually no experience or skills when you're using, soft plastics. It's that easy. It's just cast it and wind it in. I pause now and then. We just short, mate, about 78 I said.
Yeah, 78. Yeah.
78. Now when you're handling these fish, the golden rules, get the lure out first. You try and pick these fish up with the lure and it throws its head around, you've got hooks in your hand. I've done this a million times. Hopefully it doesn't happen to me, but I'm going to lift him up so you can see the lure and where he's pinned. The other important thing is the smaller barra, you can pick them up by the mouth, thumb inside, you can lift them up and hold them up, support their belly a little bit, but their body weight's not strong enough to rip out their gill rakers. But when you get to a solid fish like this, sort of anything from 65 onwards really, you want to support their body weight if you want this fish to live. You're going to neck it, take it home, or whatever you're going to do. But if you're going to release them, thumb in, secure it, pin it down, hand under the belly and lift him up. Don't just grab him by the head and pull him up like that. You see guys get him on bogas, stick it in his mouth and hold up. Look at my fish. That fish is going to die. You're stretching all the muscles and cartilage off the bone and the fish will die. So support its body weight, super important. So I'm just going to locate where that hook is so I don't get it in me. Yep, there it is. That should be fine. Hold still, buddy. Hold still, mate. Nice firm grip in the bottom of their lip. They've got nothing, a little bit raspy. There's no teeth there that are going to hurt you. And then just support his body weight and up he comes. The other good thing about a single hook is they're very easy to remove. And just go in the opposite direction. Yep, just pop out just like that. And I'll fix him up in a second. Support his body weight again. Now, lots of crocs in this area, so I'm not going to hold him in the water. I don't want to get my hand bitten off or dragged into the water. So a very effective way of releasing these fish is just to literally spear them straight into the water. Just like that. Now some people think, oh, you're throwing the fish in the water, it's so cruel. No, it isn't. These fish jump all the time. They free jump all the time. What it does is it gets the oxygen back through their gills. It's like a spark for them. And often you'll do that and you'll just see them power away to fight another day. That rhymed. There you go. Smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Oh yeah, nice fish. Another 80, no big deal. Crazy. I might have to put this lure on for you, Max. They're absolutely loving this right now. Yeah, I'll pop this one on for you, buddy, after we get this fish. Ooh. These fish are fighting so hard. Coming right side, might jump. Might, as it gets close to the boat. No, just leave it. I've got it on a loop thing. Beautiful. Crazy, one after another. Just insane fishing. So this time around, in terms of soft plastics, I'm using, oh come here mate, a fish trap, Xeric fish trap. Now, these are fantastic for just about all species, but on Barra, in the impoundments or even here in the mouth of a river, they're such a good lure to use. I'd consider it a soft plastic, even though it's a vibe, it is made of plastic. And they're great on really big Barra. We've caught some monster Barra in the impoundments on these. And there's another nice fish. This guy would be probably 66, 67. Not the monster we're hoping for, but a good example of how these soft plastics do the job. Oh, that's a cracker. Nice fish. You can see that fish trap right there. And I'll go through right now how to use them. I'll just get this fish back in the water. The hook's out. Really nice in the corner of the mouth. Yeah, that'll pop out. Yep, the lure's out. Let's have a look. Yeah, nice Barra. Beautiful. Maybe 66, 67, maybe a bit more. Got a lovely fish, deserves to live. Straight back in. Now, this is the lure, the fish trap. Mate, I've caught everything from Spanish mackerel to red emperor, flathead, but on big Barra, these things are absolutely amazing, and I'll show you how to use it. It's very simple. There's a lot of different techniques that you can use, but to me, this is most certainly the easiest one. So I'm going to cast it out, and like most of the plastics we're fishing with, you want to fish it off the bottom. So you watch your line there, and you'll see it go slack when it hits the bottom. May have already been there. Yeah, I think it's already there. So all I'm going to do is a very slow wind along the bottom, and I'm going to vibe it up. Wind up the slack, make sure it goes back down again. There, the line goes slack. A couple of winds, a lift, let the line go slack again, yet back on the bottom. And vibe it. That's all you've got to do. And you will feel through your rod that lure vibing. If you don't feel it, it's fouled up, you've got to start again. But it's such an easy thing to do. Anyone can do this. It's not technical. There's one. Oh, you still got it? Yeah, got it. Oh, good fish. Come here, buddy. Oh, that's a good one. A bit more weight there, that's for sure. I don't even think he knows he's hooked yet. Let's pull yours in, Danny. I'm underneath you.
Yep.
You've got me. Stop. Shit, it's in your arm.
No, just gently get out. And
Hang on, it's wrapped around the viewfinder. There. Okay, now it's got to go. Let it go, Max. No, give it to me. Through there. Danny, you crazy man. To get the cameraman. This is a good fish. It has not jumped yet, and often the better fish don't. Oh, come on, out of there. Oh yeah, nice fish. Not as big as I thought it was going to be. Still a lovely fish. And it just shows how easy it is when you find them. Using side imaging in particular is a great way to find these fish in rivers or wherever you might be. And using a vibe, it's just an easy way to catch quality fish. Man, that fish fought so hard for its size. Whoopsie. Nice. Beautiful. Look how silver that guy is. Even his tail's a bit silver. That is a pure saltwater barramundi. Thank you for that. And away he goes. Just chuck them up there for me, mate. It's as simple as that.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Also, feel free to drop some video ideas in the comments.